Okay, in this video we're going to talk about sharps, flats and natural signs. Now there is a general name we give to all these three things. Their general name is accidentals. So you may hear me refer to what we call accidentals. And that can be any of those three, a sharp, a flat or a natural sign. And I'll explain what those three are. But as I said, they're often referred to in a general sense as accidentals. So it all comes down to notes. So if I draw my treble clef, and I'm going to draw a note. Here's a little test. What note do you think that is? Okay, if you want, pause the video, work it out. I'm about to give the answer. Of course, it's a G. Very good. That is a G. Now, on the keyboard, before I explain what sharps and flats are, the keyboard has a good visual of what sharps and flats are. So we have all what we call the natural notes. Natural notes are not sharp or flat, and they are all the white keys. All the black keys on a keyboard are what we call the sharps and the flats. Okay, so they're the sharps and the flats, and these are the natural notes. So let's go back to our staff and see what they actually look like and what it actually does. Okay, let's go through a sharp first. So a sharp looks like that. It's like a hash or a hashtag. Okay, so that is what a sharp looks like. That is going to be a black note on the keyboard. A sharp, here's the important bit. What is a sharp? A sharp makes the note slightly higher in terms of pitch. I'm not going to try and sing it for you. I can't sing. But actually, what I can do is I can play it on the guitar. Okay, without that sharp there, that note would be, we put the sharp there, slightly higher in pitch. So we have G, what we call G natural, which would be a white key on a piano. And we have G sharp, sounds slightly higher, and that would be a black key on the keyboard. Okay, so a sharp raises the pitch. Let's put that down. And it raises it by a semitone. If you've seen the semitone and tone video, a sharp raises it by a semitone. Okay, here's another question for you. What do you think a flat does? If a sharp raises it by a semitone, what does a flat do? Have a think about it. I'm going to draw one while you have a think. I'm going to go the same note, and a flat looks like a little B, like that. So, what did you think? What answer did you come up with? Well, of course, a flat does the opposite of a sharp. It makes the pitch go down by a semitone. I'll play it for you again. Okay, so I have my G note, and that's what it sounds like, a G natural or a white key on a piano. And there is your G flat. You can hear, hopefully, that it sounds slightly lower in pitch. So G natural, G flat, G natural, G sharp. Okay, so it's moving it by a semitone. So that is what a sharp and a flat does. What is a natural? Well, I've mentioned natural already, and we know that a natural note is just the normal note, not sharp or flat. So this is what it will look like. Okay, it kind of looks like some people refer to it, sort of looks like a lightning strike, but that's a natural sign. So you'll see that in music, and that tells us it's not G sharp, it's not G flat, it's G natural. Okay, just the normal note. Now let me explain why sometimes we need this. If we have a bar of music, I'm going to change these into crotchets, and I'm going to put us in 3/4. So that's a crotchet, that's a crotchet, that is a crotchet. So why do we need natural signs? So I've just turned that into a bar of 3/4 with 3 beats. We have G sharp, G flat, G natural. So if I did not have that natural sign there, accidentals, which is that general name, will last for a whole bar on that particular note. So if I did not have that natural sign there, that would still be a G flat if there was nothing in front of that. But if I don't want a G flat there and I want a G natural, I have to use a natural sign. Here's another question for you, see if you can work this one out. What if I didn't have the natural sign there, and what if I didn't have the flat sign there, what would those two notes be? Pause the video if you want to give it a bit of thought, because I'll give you the answer. Okay, so the question was, if that natural sign wasn't there and that flat sign wasn't there, what would those two notes be? Well, they would of course be G sharps. So accidentals last for a whole bar. Okay, so if that is G sharp, the next G, and it's only for that line and that particular note, would be a G sharp unless there is something different in front of it. And same thing there. So as I said, it's only for that line. If this note here was a E flat, it wouldn't affect it. Okay, the sharp there would not affect, and doesn't affect any other line, only notes on that line. So that's why we need a natural sign. Just before I finish this video, just a little word of warning about drawing sharps, flats and natural signs. There are correct ways and incorrect ways of doing it. I'm going to draw some incorrect ways over here of doing it and talk about why they are indeed incorrect. Okay. Okay, there's a couple of incorrectly drawn accidentals. So first example is the sharp is not in line with the note. So if the note is on a line, like G, the line needs to go not only through the note of G, but also needs to go through the sharp, like you can see here. See, the line goes through the sharp and the note. So that sharp I've actually drawn there would be more suited for an A note in the second space. Okay, and if you were doing a space sharp, it would look like that. Okay, it has to be directly in line. Here's a mistake here. What do you think the mistake there is? Fairly obvious one. The accidental has been drawn after the note. That's not how it's drawn. It has to be before the note. Okay, so that is incorrectly drawn because they'll be referring to something afterwards. Another common mistake. What do you think is wrong with that one? Flat is too small. The flat and the sharp should be about the same size as the note. Okay, so that flat should look more like that. Okay, and if the note is on a line, so the line is going through the flat there. Same with the natural sign. Okay, if it's on a line, the line goes through the note and it goes through the natural sign. If it was in a space, the heart of the natural sign is in a space and it's evenly sized. So hopefully that all makes sense about what flats and sharps are. Before we finish up, I might just show you what they look like on the piano. Okay, so I'm just going to pick any old note on the keyboard. Let's stick to G. Here is G on the piano. So a G sharp, we go up one. Unfortunately, we can't hear it, it's not plugged in. We go up a semitone. So G sharp is going to be there. Okay, to the right, the pitch goes up this way, and the pitch goes down this way. So there is G, G sharp, it's a black note. And then we have G, if we want to go to G flat, we go down. And that's going to sound slightly lower than G. So it's moving by a semitone. Cool, hopefully that all makes sense.